morning, it's my honor and privilege to be at the India Brand Summit, and in the evening we have the Indian Marketing Awards. I'm primarily here because Mr. Harit Nagpal is going to do the keynote, and I must tell you, when we started Exchange for Media 24 years back and 21 plus years back on 6th October 2004, we had the first Indian Marketing Awards. Mr. Harit Nagpal was the Director Marketing at Vodafone. That evening he was the Marketer of the Year, and it was a glittering ceremony, and that has led us to the path that we are here. So thank you, Mr. Nagpal, for being there then and for being here today. Mr. Nagpal has worked in consumer domain, he's worked in technology domain, he's worked in broadcast domain. So he understands the changes over the last 3+ decades. So he's a great guy to talk to you about what is happening in business and marketing. He's also a very prolific writer. He's an author, and dare I say, he's provocative in what he writes in real. So really, I look forward to listening to him. Please give Mr. Harit Nagpal a big round of applause. Bigger round of applause, yeah. Clapping is good for your heart muscles. So you're doing it for yourself. Today is also a very auspicious day. Though it's a Mauni Amavasya, we should be quiet. But we have to speak to earn our bread, so we will do that. They say a picture says 1,000 words, so I really have only 6 pictures to make my point. And I'll make it quick because we are, want to keep on time and really on. Now, what is this picture? Can you? Traffic. Car to dikh hi nahi rahi hai yaar. Huh? Fire to hai, kahan pe hai? Where? LA. So these are the couple of weeks back, there were wildfires in LA, and LA is a densely populated area. It is a very wealthy area. Celebrities live. The mansions and the homes and the living spaces are among the costliest pieces of real estate with lots of memories. And this is what happened. Of course, there's a massive effort to rebuild it. And then we also ran out of water in LA to be able to douse the fires, and because of they've spread fast because of the kind of environment they live in. And I've been talking about sustainability in almost all our conferences, that as a business leader, most of you are business leaders, marketing happens to be something that you do, but your job is to be able to grow the business and to be able to contribute to the society. So I'll come to this, why I'm showing this. Now, of course, this is an event that most of us, I watched it, I came home, I still watch TV, and Mr. Nagpal will talk about why TV is not yet dead. There's connected TV and so on and so forth. And I watched this, and before that, an American president passed away, so I watched Jimmy Carter's, remembrance evening, and it was a huge event. And a lot of millionaires, billionaires paid money. Billionaires paid $1 million each to attend it. Some paid more than $200 million. You can figure out which ones. But most to the Donald Trump President Inauguration Fund. But it was a big event. And, it was watched on almost all media. Of course, I was watching it on CNN. And there is a reason I'm showing. There's only 6 pictures. As we speak, this is happening. I don't think there is a bigger event in terms of numbers or the faith. And the marketing by the UP government is so much that everybody wants to be in Banaras. Everybody wants to be in taking the holy dip, and which is okay. I am very, very religious, so I am all for it. Yesterday also there was a minor incident or a major incident happened. There was stampede because, a friend of mine posted yesterday, he's a top religion journalist for the last 20 years. He's been there for the last 15 days, that Mahakumbh, VIP Mahakumbh ban gaya hai. And he wrote a long post. And he explained why walking. But the fact is, it's the biggest event. And look at the marketing of the event, Has anyone not noticed what the Mahakumbh organizers have the outreach they've done through newspapers, through earned media, through digital, through influencers. Though Mr. Nagpal said that we will not talk about it, but in my view, I will talk about DeepSeek. This is the most important development, at least in the short term. As Mr. Nagpal says, we'll see how real it is, what is the impact, are they genuine, because it is coming from China and we don't know enough, right? It may be genuine for all we know, but we don't know enough. But yes, at least the last 4 days in Indian media and last 5 days in global media, there are articles and leaders in India posting about DeepSeek, and it is the power of innovation. It is the power of frugality. It is the power of disruption. Truly, if it's true, I must build a qualifier. How many of you went to this event? You're marketers, some of us, you must be sponsoring us. How many of you went to the Coldplay concert? 1, 2, 3, 4 people, okay. Now, there was a Karan Aujla that happened, there is a Ed Sheeran that happened, there's Brian Adams that happened, events, and the Prime Minister yesterday talked about the gig economy, as in the events economy. And somewhere there is also the ongoing series, 2 matches done. India won. I watched the first match, which was a cakewalk for India, so to say. So, there is so much happening in the world which is seeking our attention. And I don't have answers. I keep thinking about where is the world headed, what should I do, what should our organizations do, what should we focus on. But the 3 questions I want to raise, in 3 trends I want to outline is, in the rise of digital, events of every nature are growing. We want more physical experiences. People are going to the Kumbh. People are going to a Coldplay concert. There are friends of mine who flew from India for Donald Trump inauguration. They were invited. There is cricket matches people are going to watch in stadiums. The more digital grows, the value of physical touch, of being in the room, grows. So India is not an either-or place. Life is not either-or. Even in most product categories, there is a premium play, there is a mass play, and then there is a, let's say, affordable play, right? So India is an and market. It's not an either-or market. There are so many TGs to address. And if you look at the pricing of the passes for these standing, sitting, where they are, right from 5,000 rupees they go on to the Ed Sheeran passes are up to 1 lakh of rupees, right? So clearly there is true democratization happening through involvement. That's one way to look at it. Second is, while all this is happening, there is a rural India. Is there a slowdown in rural India? While there is a certain class that is spending on these experiences, is there a certain class which is also struggling with saving money for basic things? That's a question to ask. And last, which is what I started with, are marketeers, business leaders, and they are in some way trying to make the quality of life better. With all this happening, is the quality of our lives better? As brand owners, of course, brands have a meaningful role in everybody's life, whether it's Blue Smart or Uber or Ola. Every brand has its own way, whether it's Tata Play, so on and so forth. Every brand has a certain purpose and a value. But overall, is the quality of experiences and lives being enhanced with what's happening around? And what can we do as business leaders, marketeers, who are so influential with the communication tools they have, the budgets they have, and the brands that they have through which they can speak? Are we addressing sustainability? Is sustainability in a deep way part of our communication? Are we sensitizing more people to be able to bring sustainability practices? I was talking to a doctor 3 days back. I've had 2 friends. One lost his father-in-law, another lost his father-in-law. And my closest friend in Chicago lost his father to cancer in the last exactly 18 days. Both died on the same day. And I was talking to the doctor, and he said, in India, of course, we know that non-communicable diseases are big, diabetes is big. He said, watch for the next 2-3 years. Cancer is going to take over diabetes. It's going to be the biggest issue. Now, of course, there are many reasons why cancer happens, lifestyle, but it's the presence of microplastics in a lot of things we do, including drinking from plastic bottles. We should have, glass bottles, Tushar at our events, whatever it costs, right? It's a small contributor. I don't know. It's a whole, lifestyle, the food you eat, the sleep you do. And sometimes I've talked about sleep at our conferences. Me and Mr. Nagpal were discussing that he prioritizes sleep, and he goes one day in the evening. I normally do that. Today is an exception and tomorrow is going to be. But I prioritize my sleep over everything else. So are we, as a marketer, are we talking about these things? Because at the end of the day, brands exist to enhance the quality of life. Of course, we do talk about how is Gen AI going to change the way campaigns are being made. Today, there are no shoots, no locales, no sets being booked, no actors. AI is creating beautiful videos with tools, most of them free, some paid for. And, IPR is protected because you sourced images by paying for the images. So, of course, advertising communication is changing, and it will change more. The content business is changing. Content marketing has become a large part of what brands do. It's very, very important. And last but not the least, with the changes in algorithms of major platforms, with new platforms coming up every month, is a safe thing to say. There are new platforms to reach out. And truly, we have to be omni-channels. So how are marketers in a world of D2C? We saw a young brand which came up in the last 4 years, was bought by a large MNC for top dollars, right? So it's a very interesting world. What do we do in such a world? I don't have the answers. I'm raising the questions. How are we as business leaders and marketers be able to improve the quality of life of all consumers? How are we bringing issues like health, longevity, quality of life, sleep into the daily conversations of our consumers? And last but not the least, how do we make sure that we meaningfully engage with our consumers, customers, our stakeholders in an omni-channel era? Of course, data insights help us, but is the connection meaningful or is it superficial? Is the sale a relationship or is it a transaction? And most importantly, I'll end by saying we live in an era where every week there is a disruption, every week there is an innovation, and these are game changers. These are not incremental disruptions or innovation. How do we make sure that we are ready to be able to change our tactics every week? We are able to align strategically with what's happening with the environment. These are the questions I have. I'm sure Mr. Nagpal will address some of them. In the evening, we have the Indian Marketing Awards. We had an overwhelming response, and our jury chair and our jury members were able to go through the entries in a physical jury meet in this hotel a couple of days back and decide the winners. We have almost every winner coming in, and so I look forward to an evening of celebration of the work that the brands and businesses are doing. And we also have a People Award. So the gentleman who's receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award for Marketing is also coming in the evening. I don't want to give his name, but he's built a large business. He's built a category, and that company has become an institution. I'll leave it at that. With this, please give Mr. Harit Nagpal a big round of applause, and I look forward to having him speak. Give him a bigger round of applause. Thank you, Manish.